You wake up on an ordinary morning. Your cell phone vibrates on your bedside table. Notifications. Lots of notifications. The headlines seem too exaggerated to be real. Military tensions, falling markets, governments making urgent pronouncements. You're still half asleep trying to figure out if this is just another internet panic cycle or something else. You get up, instinctively open your bank app. The number there still looks familiar. Your savings, your salary, years of planning, everything is where it should be. At least for now. But what you still don't realize is that your money has never existed in isolation. It lives within a huge, invisible, fragile, and highly reactive system. If a global war breaks out, this system doesn't collapse all at once. It changes, level by level, and you change along with him. No choice. Level 1. The illusion of normality. In the first stage, almost nothing seems different. The war is still far enough away to seem like a political discussion. On television, experts debate scenarios. In the markets, investors try to remain calm. The government calls for serenity. You continue living your routine. You work, pay bills, plan your month. But small changes are starting to appear. Fuel is a little more expensive. Some products are disappearing from the shelves. The dollar is fluctuating strangely. Your responsibilities remain the same. Work, pay bills, move on. What you learn at this level is simple and uncomfortable. Wars don't start with explosions in your neighborhood. They begin with numbers. You still have job security. Your salary keeps coming in. Your credit card still works. Your bank is still open as usual. But something is slowly starting to disappear. Predictability. The risk at this stage is ignoring the signs. To rise or to survive, you need to do something few people do. Pay attention. Because the system is still working, but it's already preparing to change. Level 2. The economy enters war mode. Now the conflict is no longer just geopolitical. He entered the economy. Markets are starting to react strongly. Investors are fleeing risk. Currencies are depreciating. Governments are announcing massive emergency spending. You start to feel it directly. Your grocery shopping gets more expensive. Your rent is increasing. Your salary? No. At this level, your responsibility changes. It's no longer just about living. Now you need to protect what you have. You learn something that no one taught you in school. When countries go to war, money changes its function. It ceases to be stable. It becomes a tool. Governments need to finance armaments, logistics, alliances, and reconstruction. To do this, they do what governments have always done in times of war. They spend much more than they have. You still have access to the system. Your bank is still active. Your investments still exist. But you lose purchasing power. The risk now is silent. Inflation. It's not a sudden explosion. It's a slow erosion. 2. Succeed in this system, you need to understand something difficult. Idle money starts to lose value. But it's not the worst stage yet. The system is still reorganizing. Level 3. War reaches everyday life. At this stage, war ceases to be something distant. She begins to reorganize the country. The government is implementing emergency economic measures, accelerated industrial production programs, incentives for strategic sectors, trade restrictions. The economy is shifting its priorities. And you? Change with her. Some industries grow absurdly. Others practically stagnate. Jobs disappear in certain sectors and spring up frantically in others. You learn a new rule of the system. In times of war, efficiency replaces comfort. Resources are being redirected. Energy, raw materials, transportation, everything is starting to be controlled more closely. You still get opportunities. Some markets thrive. New jobs emerge. But you lose economic freedom. Products are becoming scarce. Imports are decreasing. Some things simply cease to exist for a while. The risk now is structural. Dependency. If you rely on a single income stream, a single sector, or a single financial plan, the system can crush you. To move up, you need to adapt. Don't fight against the system. To understand where he is going. Because at this stage, the economy is no longer reacting. She is being directed. Level 4. Money changes its meaning. Now war is fully integrated into the functioning of the country. Government. Spending is enormous. Debt is growing rapidly. Central banks are beginning to intervene aggressively. You notice this in something simple. The value of money starts behaving strangely. Markets rise and fall violently. Some assets are soaring, others disappear. At this level, you learn an age-old truth of economic history. Wars don't just change governments, they redefine wealth. Certain resources become extremely valuable. Energy, food, strategic technology. Others lose importance. You might even earn more money at this stage. But it loses stability. The risk now is psychological. Panic, impulsive decisions, desperate movements attempting to protect property. To rise in this system, you need to do the opposite of most people. Think long-term while everyone else is thinking about the next day. But that's difficult, because the system is now near its limit. Final climb, the top of the system. At its peak, war completely dominates the economic structure. National budgets are redirected toward the military effort. Global production chains are reconfigured. Economic alliances emerge and disappear rapidly. You look around and notice something strange. The system still works, but it's not the same system anymore. Money still exists. Banks still operate. Markets still open. But everything revolves around the war. At the top of this system lies a curious feeling: control. Governments believe they can manage everything. Central banks believe they can stabilize the currency. Markets believe they can price in risk. But wars have a characteristic that no economic model can predict. They always evolve beyond the planning stage. And when that happens, the system begins to react. Is left over. Any structure that reorganizes itself under extreme pressure begins to show flaws. Higher inflation, larger debts, social tensions. Some sectors are entering a crisis. Some companies go bankrupt. Some financial strategies that seemed perfect simply fail. You then realize something is unsettling. There is no completely safe position within a global system at war. Some people lose a lot. Some earn a lot. But everyone is affected. Money changes. The rules change. And those who can't adapt get stuck at the wrong level of the system. Closing. In the end, something curious happens. War eventually ends. Markets are reorganizing. The economy is finding new equilibrium. The world is beginning to rebuild. But the system will not return to what it was before. He's never coming back. Every war leaves behind a new economic architecture. New strong currencies, new dominant sectors, new forms of wealth. And while individuals try to recover from the impact, the system continues. It's adapting, reorganizing, waiting for the next chapter of history. Because ultimately, wars change governments, borders, and economies. But the financial system always finds a way to survive. The question that remains is not whether he will continue. The question is, at what level will you be when it changes again?